कृपया लक्ष्य दें। जयपुर वाया कोटा।
कृपया ध्यान आपो अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत।
लखनऊ जंक्शन
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವವರೆಗೆ
Hyderabad Punjab Express পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন कृपया ध्यान दें।
Delhi started their innings like they were speeding on the expressway. Then they got into the city. All the roads were dug up. They got stuck. But then Abishek Porel got onto a bike and zoomed past Joyda's score. We are back at Cricbuzz Live. I'm Saiyami and I have Joyda.
She had to say it.
Well, the anchors are the defending champions, aren't they? What do we do? What do we do?
I love how you started today's show on a train.
Oh, yes.
We've
then you're
moved
on
to
the road.
cars and we've finished on a motorbike, which is possibly the best mode of transport to take.
Maybe we'll go into the water in the post-match. Never know.
Who knows?
We never know.
Yeah, we
But
defending champions.
Yes,
What
I
don't
said
you
a
say
we
now?
defending champion.
I've learned from my senior. I've learned from my senior who's taught me well. So thank you, Gaurav Kapoor. And I'll put an acceptance speech. But first, let's see what Delhi's done. They've managed 174 in their 20 overs. Abishek Porel came to the party 32 of 10. Shai Hope 33 of 25. And David Warner gave them that start with 29. Simon, we can say that they'll be very happy with this.
Great finish. Looked like a very decent start too, wasn't it? 39 when they lost their first wicket, 3.2. So they got the flying start they were after. The first probably 10 overs, I think we looked before, they were 94 for 2 when Shai Hope just got out, but leading into the 11th over. So they were in a great position to put a 180, probably 190 on the board. Then it looked like 155, 160, and none of us were going to be right. And then a gem of an innings, and that's what an impact player does. So what they've decided, I think, is they've said, look, we need 175 runs. We have a bowling attack that can defend that without bringing another bowler in as our impact player. Let's get the runs on the board. And I think that's a really smart decision. Now looks like it might be a competitive score.
You know, Joyda, we spoke about this in the pre-match and all through last season is that the Indian batters were not stepping up for Delhi. So seeing what Abishek Porel's done today, it's a big positive.
Huge. And look, he played well. Even if you remember last year, he started batting for them. I think they gave him a bit of a chance for 4-5 games. And he looked the part. He looked the part as a keeper. He looked the part whenever he had bat in hand. But somehow they lost faith in him and they went back. But I think that's it. He's played for Bengal. He regularly bats at number 6 for Bengal. Played their last match, got a 50 as well. He's got a strike rate of 140 in T20, domestic T20. So he's no mug with the bat. And I have to say the word impact substitute, this is what it was made for. You know, impact, 32 of 10, strike rate of 320. He has changed the game.
Yeah.
But Simon, you're happy with how they started off on the expressway. The intent was very clear with Warner and Mitch Marsh. Or do you think you would have changed the opening combination and had Mitch Marsh a little lower?
No, I liked it. I think Mitch Marsh has the opportunity or the ability to change a game in the space of 3, 4, 5 overs. And he just maybe gives David Warner that security to allow him to be the player that we know he has been in the past. And that's something that I think David Warner, probably Delhi, are looking for from him. He will get better. He'll play better innings, during the tournament. But I think if Mitch Marsh can provide that impetus in the power play, it just allows Warner a little bit more time to get into the innings. And, we'll see that, I think, more throughout the tournament. They fell away a bit in that middle order, but the finish has been exceptional. And, by the looks of what the bowlers were trying to do, a lot of slower balls, a lot of pace off into the surface, it looks like it might not be the easiest pitch either.
Joyda, we just have a look at the innings progression because like Simon said, they started off really well and we can see the run rate here. So it's 9-8, went to 7.6 and went back to 10. Yeah. But, just that middle order problem that Delhi's been facing.
Absolutely. And I think they have to look at it because, look, they have packed their top. And I think they've packed their top because they believe that that's the only thing that can get them win games at the start, just score big, and they have a decent bowling attack. They have some really good spinners out there, a couple of decent fast bowlers. They think they can do it. But if that top does not deliver for them, we were always worried that other than Exeter, there's nobody dependable in the middle order. if Abishek Porel can bat for them like this at about 6 or 7, give them, you're not going to get 320, a strike rate of 320 every day, but he hits at 140, 150, gives them those kind of runs out there. This is a transformed team because suddenly you've got a little bit of spine in the middle, and I think that will prop it up very well. They need something out there. So this, I think, for them has been a revelation, and he'll carry a lot of confidence into the next match. So if Delhi solves this problem, they're not a bad side because those two up front, Warner and Marsh, can bat many teams out of the contention.
But Simon, you think Shai Hope is that kind of, player who maybe can anchor an innings because that's what he does in ODI cricket. So maybe if there are power hitters all around him, he's the one who can be the anchor?
Yeah, there's a chance of that. I like the fact that he showed a little bit more aggression again tonight. I mentioned it in the pre-show. He's really trying to up his strike rate in the shortest format of the game, and I've seen signs of it when I've watched him play in the last 6 months, 8 months as well. Coming down the pitch, taking the spinners on relatively early in his innings. We haven't seen too much of that from Shai Hope, prior to probably 8 months, 9 months ago. So I think with the power that is around, if you run through that batting lineup and you think about Warner, Marsh, Punt, Ricky Bowie didn't get going today, Stubbs has got power, we've seen what Axar can do, you just saw that little innings from Abhishek there. You do need, I hate to say an anchor role, but if someone can score at 135, 140 and get their 50s and 60s, and others can bat around them at strike rates of 170, 180 to 200, then that's fine. Problem comes when you got guys scoring at 130, 140 anchoring innings, and everyone else is going at 120, 125, 130. That becomes an issue. So I think I don't mind that batting lineup again, and they might even consider bringing Abhishek in for Ricky Bowie and starting him next game and just moving everybody up one and saying, well, look, he's a guy in form. We might change that, and we can bring a bowler in as an impact player, impact substitute. So, as I say, look, a lot of middling scores. No one above 33. But they've still posted a score, similar to last night with Chennai,
Exactly
wasn't it?
the same.
37 was Ravinder,
yes,
I think, was it last night?
Yeah, everyone, no score above a 40, but everyone's getting the job done. And that's really interesting. But, obviously there's another option. So Shai Hope is, bats in T20 nationals at about 125. And exactly what he's saying, if the others can bat 150, 160, but then Warner cannot take an anchor role anymore.
Yeah, correct.
So Shai Hope is there.
Yeah.
Warner cannot play those 125, 130s anymore. He has to go for it as well.
But that kind of gives him that freedom which he didn't have last year, right? Because he has that freedom now.
Yeah, or they take that option and they say that, okay, we will let Warner play his anchor role game and we bring a Jake Fraser McGurk, who for South Australia has been absolute. I mean, everyone in Australia is talking about him. And he's the kind of player who, if he sets the IPL alight, he can really bat the teams out of contention.
We were all at Cricbuzz, you all bite our nails to see who's reaching our predicted score, because that's so important here at Cricbuzz. We have a separate prize distribution that we have behind the scenes, which we should release some other day. But I want to show you all a ball-by-ball kind of score of the last over and what happened. So it was 4-6, 4-4-6 and 1+ wide. This completely changed the dynamics of what we were looking at. But do you think it was almost like Abishek Porel was batting on a different pitch and they misread the pitch, or was it just a bad over for Harshal Patel?
Yeah, I will allow Simon to go in detail. But the first thing is that, Harshal Patel is an experienced bowler. Why is he bowling length in the final over? For him to bowl length, for him to not use his slower, there wasn't, he really... Once the first ball was hit, the second ball was length, which was unforgivable under these circumstances. And then, you've gone for 10 in your first two, you tend to, as a bowler, just lose it. Then, then it was steeply downhill. And these are the kind of overs that change matches. One over like that changes a match.
Problem for me, and I talk about it so often, the plan was all wrong. You're up against a powerful left-hander who likes to hit the ball leg side and down the ground. So what are your options? Wide Yorkers and pace off slower balls wide, but set the field accordingly. Going into the surface with slower balls and not having a deep third is just fraught with danger. I don't understand that. You can go short into the surface, you can have a deep square leg, a fine, a third on the boundary, you can have a deep point and a deep sort of extra cover and go pace off or go really wide Yorkers. You shouldn't get hit to mid-wicket long on. So the plan was all wrong. For a very experienced campaigner in Harshal Patel, for an experienced captain, not to slow him down and stop him. He rushed through that over as well. There didn't seem to me to be a lot of discussion going on.
Totally agree.
What is the plan?
True.
So you know, I know some of these games do take some time, but the last over, that could be game winning. It could be game winning from a Delhi point of view and game losing from a Punjab point of view.
See, any coach will tell you, and you know, this is a standard prognosis. Now, if somebody like, for example, what Surya Kumar Yadav does, you know, walks that far outside off stump and hits you over leg, that's fine. Captain will take it and say that, you know, he's built that. But Abhishek was not doing that.
No.
And then if he's not doing that and he's hitting you on both sides of the wicket, there's a problem. That's what he's saying.
Well, we'll have a look at Punjab's bowling card because, you know, like I said, till the last over, Shikhar had moved his bowlers around well. It was seeming like it was all going well until that little 32 sting. Harshal Patel's gone for 4 overs for 47 and his economy is 11.75. That's exactly the price he was bought at. So that's not what he wants to see in that bracket. But Simon, Shikhar was doing a good job with how he was kind of rotating his bowlers. It just kind of went downhill towards the last three overs.
Yeah, and no faith in Sam Curran. 1 over for 10, no faith to bring him back. I mean, he's again been paid big money, specialist at the back end, gets those Yorkers, quite a skiddy, low type bowler. I'm surprised they didn't go to him at some stage. Great results out of Harpreet Brar. He's a very clever bowler, Harpreet Brar. Rahul Chahar did a good job. So you look at the overs, there's 7 overs of spin. Have done a very good job between Chahar and Brar. So, you know, that might say that if you bowl spin well, it's not easy to get it away. But yeah, not going back to Sam Curran, just 1 over for 10 early on. I think maybe slightly could have changed that around a little bit, could have done better. But look, you know, bowlers will have a bad over here and there. And doesn't make Harshal Patel a bad bowler. He's just taken some bad options and been taken down by a very good player. You know, you'd like to think you'll learn from it and it won't happen again. But I just think that finish has given Delhi something to really look forward to.
And how could you blame Shikhar Dhawan? If you look at the last 5 overs, how many runs are scored? 50 runs are scored in the last 5. 25 in 4.
Yeah.
And then 25 in the 5th.
Yeah.
So 4 overs, he's given 25. So he's circulated beautifully.
It was just that last
Given it to his best death over bowler, who they paid 11.75 for, and he goes. I mean, that's my point. But you're absolutely right. I think at that point, after the second ball, the third ball, normally the captain rushes over, comes down, says nothing. Even if we pretend we are chatting, just to say, okay, let's chat about something. Just take the momentum off.
But both Harshal and Sam Curran are those bowlers who like to take the pace off the ball. And clearly that's what worked in today's game. So do you think maybe Harshal just got thrown off a little bit because he was doing it so well for the first 3 overs? Yeah,
and I think Abishek Porel read him. I think he read him absolutely spot on. He basically, I mean, the best shot of the whole over, I think, was the off-pace slower ball that he went over a finish sort of third, fourth slip over the head. It was just a terrific shot. He waited, he adjusted, and just ramped it over the third area. So that was probably the shot of the over for me. But I just don't think that Harshal Patel got the job right, or got the situation right with the pace he was bowling or the line he was bowling. You can set a field offside to a left-hander and bowl out there and take pace off it. But the line was all wrong, but he was taken down by some very good batting.
We'll quickly have a look at Punjab's playing 11 because Prabh Simran has come in as an impact sub, and Joyda, just quickly, because they've come into bat, how important is it for Prabh Simran to have a good season? Because, you know, he was paid good money and then he's just not had that, you know, breakthrough season yet.
He has an interesting ones. Once or twice he's done well. The interesting one was that Bairstow was indicating before the tournament that he wants to bat at 3.
Yes.
But he is opening today, and that's interesting that, you know, I think they want to get on the pace. And I think here's the thing where Shikhar is probably now expected to play what Warney is supposed to play on the other side, and let Prabh Simran, Bairstow, the likes of them, Jitesh, blast out from one side. So I think Prabh Simran is a tantalizing prospect, but obviously has not yet realized his potential.
All right, Simon, quickly then, because they've already come out to bat. The defending champion can't go first.
Oh, no. Power play score?
Yes.
52.
Ooh, okay.
I'm going higher. I'm going 61.
Okay.
There's no middle ground.
There's no
Come
middle
on.
ground. Okay,
Be brave.
I'll just say 70. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, but now I just want to give other people a chance to win, you know. That's what it is. That's what it is. I need other people. I've gotten carried away because I won the prediction game, so I just got carried away at the time.
You mentioned it for about the 37th
just-
time within
I just-
about what? How
just-
many minutes? 17 minutes.
Just 2-3 more times I'll do it in the post match, hoping I win. Let's go out and see what happens. Don't forget to join us the 10-over point at the Cricbuzz Combox.
कृपया लक्ष्य करें। जयपुर वाया कोटा
कृपया ध्यान आपो अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವ
Banco 50 एक्सप्रेस পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন कृपया ध्यान दियो